Christmas traditions for us were always Christmas Eve with the grandparents, Papa, Granny and Pa, on Christmas Eve at their house with the cousins and aunts and uncles. And then Christmas Day, obviously our family would do our thing. And then we would go to my Mama's house and have Christmas dinner and open presents again on Christmas Eve. So I had three sets of grandparents because one of my sets of grandparents divorced and remarried. So it was a treat for us. We got to open a lot of gifts.
Christmas to me is, once again, my favorite because it's all about family. It's about bringing family together. And, it's one thing I have fond memories as a little kid growing up with my brothers and sisters and my mom, and me being half Puerto Rican, half Irish descent. We would tap into a lot of those cultural things that I grew up as a little kid experiencing, from going to midnight mass. I'm Catholic, and so going to midnight mass is always a tradition of ours on Christmas Eve. And then coming home and eating traditional Puerto Rican food, like pasteles and the rice and beans and the pork. My dad would sometimes roast a pig outside. And it's all about like that day, that morning, waking up, going down there, being so surprised, seeing what Santa has brought for you, and just opening up presents, paper being all over the place. So I just have such great fond memories of that.
My wife is part Mexican, and so she has integrated into our household a new tradition that we've celebrated for the past however many years we've been together, and especially with the kids, she'll make tamales, and then she'll also make a soup called oh my goodness, she's gonna kill me for it. It's these big corns. What do they call them? Pozole. Thank you. It's pozole, but it is absolutely delicious. And like now, I grew up like we had the turkeys and the hams and all that. And we still do that. And she'll make something that I used to love too growing up, which was I asked specifically for this green bean casserole. I love that as well. The little crumbs on top, and but she's definitely mixed it in the Mexican heritage into our family. We have a lot of fun and we eat a lot of food.
Christmas for me, ever since I was a kid, Christmas was always a special time for my family. It was just me and my mom and my grandparents living together in a 3-bedroom apartment. My mom worked, my grandfather worked, and whatever they could scrounge up around the holidays, they would do their very best to get me whatever presents. And then 43 years old, still believe in Santa Claus, not ashamed to say it. Pretty sure I saw Santa Claus when I was about 9 years old, and not the one at the mall, just to be clear. Now, being a father, Christmas is everything. Christmas is all about my kids, and hopefully keeping that dream alive about Santa Claus and the reindeer and the North Pole. Keeping that alive until the inevitable happens and they grow up and they're like, we know where the presents are coming from. We know.
To me, Christmas is about having a tradition that you carry on. My wife and I and my son, we love to make cookies. We make batches and batches of cookies for the family and for other donation spots as well in downtown Atlanta. You have to do those things. Christmas is about traditions, and as you grow old, I've got a soon-to-be 19-year-old son, and Christmas has even changed and evolved from him being a little boy. I remember one year opening the door, and I would always try to get his face with a video camera, or now you can just use your cell phone. But I remember having a digital video camera one day, and he walked out of our bedroom door, and there was like a Thomas the Tank Engine, roller coaster. I mean, it was crazy. It was like the Thomas the Tank Engine roller coaster. And Bailey, my son, he was like, oh my, like he couldn't believe it. And again, it's about giving something to somebody else. And especially as a father, I mean, to watch your boy grow up, to nurture them, to watch them grow, to help them grow in every kind of way as a person. And now as an adult, grown man, I hope I've done a pretty good job. But yeah, you have to have traditions, and I hope he continues on all of those traditions.
Down at Rockefeller, they're lighting up the tree. Seems like